Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Leanne Reynolds. And I'm so happy that she said yes to have our inspired interview today. We met in person the first time in Ottawa 2022 at the Peggy McCall's event, in person event. This was really amazing, and we had a beautiful conversation for 90 minutes at the airport after the event, and I learned so much about Leanne, her lifestyle, and what she's doing. And now I would like you to present yourself to the audience, please.
Thank you so much, Caroline. And do you know, it really was funny how we meet. And I think life is all about the connections. That's certainly something I've learned the last few years. The connections is everything in life. So the people that you surround yourself. So I do feel so lucky and grateful that I connected with you, Caroline. And our journey since then has just been phenomenal to be able to support each other as and when we can. I know we often voice note to each other or just check in. So yeah, I think the connections, the people we have around us, and there's that classic saying of we really are the average of who we hang around. So keep quality people around you, and you are absolutely one of them. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And that reminds me of our second meeting at the Remy Elbatravis Billionaires Mansion event, 3 days training in last September 2023 in Los Angeles. And when there is this saying, surround yourself with four billionaires and you become the fifth. And this is so powerful. Thank you so much. So we are all billionaires already, if this is our goal. You know a lot about setting goals and achieving them. So my question was, yeah, would you like to present yourself, like what you are doing in life, please?
Yeah, of course, yes. So I am a life and business coach, although I don't really often use the word coach because there's so many parts to that. But essentially, for anyone that really wants to, quit playing small and really wants to go after their one precious life, go after those dreams, because I think we all have these invisible boundaries, right? And we all always put it's not excuses, but we tell ourselves these stories of I'm not good enough. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the tools, but I don't have the right certificates. And I think none of that really matters. First of all, it's all down to the way we think. Essentially it's all down to mindset. And it says that, the 3% of the population or 5% of the population that are successful, I'd say most of that comes down to the way that we think and if we believe in ourselves. So that kind of material really did change my life. Through my 20s, I was totally lost. I did so many different types of jobs, from working on cruise ships, I was personal training in gyms, I was horse riding and everything in between. But I wasn't happy, wasn't fulfilled. And I thought, I know I'm meant for more. And I just started to get curious about that. And I wasn't prepared to settle for an average lifestyle. And that doesn't mean that we're not grateful for what we do, what we have in our lives and the people, but it just means that, and the way that I always ask myself, and I know you think like this as well, Caroline, is, if we had a year left to live, would we really be waking up doing the same thing? And I think if we get to a point in our lives where we're questioning, am I on the right path? I say to myself, if I had 6 months left or a year to really make an impact or to do whatever I would really love to do, would I continue doing what I'm about to do today? And I think if we answer no within a number of days after each other, then we know we're possibly not quite on the right track. So yes, I am basically helping people go after their dreams with complete confidence, to step into their true power, to create a life they truly love and deserve and that fires them up. So yeah, they can just live their best lives. And I think it's all about helping one another. I really love working with leaders, especially because I know that way we can reach out to more people. So
Wow.
that's what I do.
Yeah, thank you so much for your introduction. And I understand this podcast is also about the connecting people. And when we put our networks together, then we have a greater effect. This is so amazing. Thank you so much. And my first question is, I know I had already two questions, but the first official question is, what inspires you?
What inspires me?
Yes.
Wow, I have a list, and I think everyone's the same. We all have things that inspire us. I think mostly just seeing people do good things in the world, doing the right thing. You know, when it comes down to it, I just think we're here to grow. In other words, to do something different every day or every week or every month, to stretch, to learn, get outside our comfort zone, have adventures, but also we're here to give back. And that's what I always think. How can I give back in a better way? How can I leave this world a better place, even if my body's not physically still here? You know, what good can we really do with the gifts and talents that we all have? It's just unraveling them and finding them, right? They're there. So yeah, I think when I see people doing really good, amazing humanitarian type things, whether it could be anything from planting trees or saving animals or helping another person change their life, that really does inspire me. And then on top of that, we have lots of cool things, you know, music, dancing. I've always loved dance, and travel, just adventure and all the good fun things that come in between. Yeah.
Oh, yes, thank you. And also about allowing ourselves to experience these fun things. Yes.
Yes.
Wow, thank you so much. This inspires me now and our audience as well, our listeners. And my next question is, who inspires you?
Oh, wow. Can I just say one person?
You can say whatever you or whatever comes into your mind to that. Yes.
It sounds funny, but there's always been, I mean, I have many, and I think all of us, you know, everything down to the people that I connect with on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. I really can say I feel so much gratitude that the people in my circle, from, you know, my clients, from people like yourself, Caroline, you know, all of us that met in the events that we've been to the last few years, our support network, people in my masterminds, every single one of them inspire me in some kind of way, because we all have different gifts and talents. And I think none of us are perfect every day. You know, there's days where even though we know this material, we might be allowing the limiting beliefs to hold us back or to put a little bit of fear there. And it could be one thing that someone says to you on a particular day where you really need to hear it, even though you know it. Or it could be that, you know, a colleague coach of yours, a fellow coach, or someone you know has just, like you, for example, Caroline, when you said, oh, I've just started my own podcast, that's on my goals list. It's not my priority this year. But so when you started even this, that was a huge inspiration, you know? And I think inspiration is everywhere, even in nature. Inspiration with kids at how brave they are. And I love kids that they just don't care. If you ever watch kids playing or talking to each other, they have no fear barrier of, oh, what does so and so going to think of me? So I don't have a particular answer, but I really do find inspiration every single day in every way. And in fact, the other day I was in London, yesterday, and I saw a couple sat on a bench, and they were just so, they were probably in their 70s or 80s. And I just really was inspired by the way they were with each other. You know, I'm assuming they were together, they were holding hands, and you just think, how lovely, what a great thing to aspire to have when you're older, you know, after all those years. It's just magic everywhere we look. We just have, that's the key. We have to be open to it, and we'll see it everywhere we go.
Yes, and enjoy every moment. And when you mentioned this couple, that reminds me of stay to this moment, that it never stops. This moment, you know, this is so beautiful. Even observing them. Yeah, you
Yes.
can feel it.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. And now I'd like to know how you inspire other people.
How do I inspire other people? I would like to, that's a good question. You've actually inspired me, Caroline, to reach out at some point soon, maybe to the next 5 people that come in my phone, and ask them, because they'll tell me the best answer, right? I can only guess. I think I inspire people because, you know, if we are trying to lead other people and coach other people, I very much believe we have to practice what we preach. So if I say I'm going to do something, I'm the kind of person, I will keep my word and I'll do it. Or, you know, I'll lead myself. So I think if I want to help people really grow their confidence, that means that I know that I've got to step outside of my comfort zone on a daily basis and get uncomfortable so that I can go to that next level of confidence. I think I'm a pretty confident person, but I have to keep thinking there's always another level. Even if we think we're pretty good at something, there's the number of levels we can reach. It is just infinity amount, isn't it? So I think that's it. I'm always trying to look for what can I do today to improve myself? How can I lead myself in a better way that will hopefully inspire someone else, you know? And it's very easy. I'm going to be 40 this year, and sometimes I think, wow, where have those years gone? It's flown by. And there's been a few things recently where I thought, oh, you can't do that, Leanne, you're too old. Right? And I've caught myself and I've had to think, wait, let's rewind. Let's put the other side of this and say, we're as old as we feel. There's no number or limit on what I can do at what age I'm going to do it. So I think that's the key thing. If we can lead ourselves in what we teach and be a really good example, I think that can inspire our clients, you know, so they can think, oh, great, you know, Leanne's doing this at her age. Well, that means that helps them think, well, I can do it. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yes, we are leading by example. And as you said, we are the example for our clients and give them the allowance through that we are giving us the allowance first to do this. And they see it. We are an inspiration. And as you mentioned, the couple on the bench, wow, exciting. This is an example too, or an inspiration. Yes, to do it in this was now the referral to the age question you said, am I too old to sit on a bench holding hands, kissing someone who is 70 or 80 years old? I would say yes. Why not? Age
Absolutely.
doesn't exist. Mhm.
Yeah. I
It's
think also if we can be as coaches or mentors or leaders, I think when we can also be open about our journey and say without fear, actually, some days we struggle too. Some days we don't have all the answers. Some days we'll have the limiting beliefs hit us or we don't believe in ourselves. And I think if we can share and be vulnerable, I think that also helps inspire people. You know, it's not about saying, hey, we're great leaders and we know everything and everything's perfect all the time. It's about saying, actually, these are the hurdles that I've had in my life, but this is how I've overcome them. This is how I've done to the best of my ability. This is how I navigated this situation. And I think that helps people not feel so alone. So I think that can also inspire people in ways.
Yes. Wow, this is amazing. Please re-listen to this podcast. There were so many nuggets until now already, but I have another question for you. What are your gifts and talents?
Oh, I love this. I love that we didn't prepare these questions before as well, because it really makes you just, you know, think on the spot. What are my gifts and talents? I'd say I'd like to think I'm pretty good at really hearing and seeing people. I think I'm a good listener. I'm very empathic. I think that's why I want to do a lot of good in this world and really try and leave the best legacy I can in so many ways. I care about people. I care about the planet. Talents. Ooh, that's such a good question. What talents do I have? I'd say something musical and dance related. I always wanted to be a dancer actually, and I gave up at 18. So had I put my mindset that I have now back to 18, the outcome would have been different, although I am still dancing. But yeah, I would say I have a natural talent for being confident and not being afraid to get uncomfortable and do things that scare me. And yeah, I think I'm just good with people. That's how I feel anyway.
Yeah. May I add something? So first of all, you sent me your dance videos and I dance videos. Okay, we are talking. Yeah, yeah. And I was so happy about this to see your work. Yeah, it was amazing. Then I would say you are a great networker because yeah, you are networking and you when I observed you during Remy's event, you were making everyone feeling comfortable. Yes, I think the word you used as well, or at ease. I can say yes. This is what I observed, and I didn't prepare to say this, but it came into my mind. I have to mention it. Yeah, Yeah, it is great
Thank you.
to have
Oh,
you in my surroundings or in my energy field. Let's say this energy field. And you know why I asked you about your gifts and talents? I'm asking everyone about it because this was a question I needed the answer to for myself. So I thought, okay, I ask I asked my podcast guest and then I find the answer. Yeah.
it's just such a good question, isn't it? Because it helps us know ourselves better as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I would say I naturally, I feel drawn to seeing people in their best light. So even if people can't see how great they are in the moment, I think I can see that and help them see it too. Thank you for the good question.
Oh, thank you so much. It is an inspiration. Of course, I have a last question concerning the gifts and talents. Gift is something I thought it is God given or given by birth or universe, whatever. And talent is something you are trained to. You set your mind to, and you train yourself with. There's this book by Malcolm Gladwell, and he has the thesis that you can learn everything, every skill within 10,000 hours or so. I don't know if you read this book.
Wow.
But yeah, he says this, and this is talent is something we create or we learn, but gift is something you are gifted with. It's the present and that you share with the world. So my last question is, what are your offers and services you share with the world, or do you have a special offer for the Inspired Podcast community today?
Wow. Well, thank you for asking, Caroline. I do have several things I'm working on at the moment. So I have one-to-one clients that if someone really wants to make a radical shift in their life, they can work one-on-one. I also have a group program. And again, we cover different topics, but really it's about people that are tired of living the way they want and that really want to break boundaries and test out how far they can really push their lives and, start living a life they truly get excited about. That's lots of good stuff coming up, but some of it's in the pipe work that I'm not ready to launch. So that's all I'm going to say right now. But I am also going to be doing live events this year, which I'm so excited about.
Yeah, so it's worth following you, if I may say this, because this is about connection, and the podcast is, of course, live for the next, I don't know how many 100 years, and people can reach out to you. So please reach out to Leanne and make the connection, because there is so much to come this year. I know this because we are in contact already for almost 1 year and a half. And yeah, I know. I know. Thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you so much
Oh,
for having me. You're a wonderful host. So thank you.
thank you. If you have a last message you want to share something.
The time is always now. Be brave. The thing that you're scared to do, I encourage you, do it today. Jump, you find your wings. And I promise you, it's never as scary as what you think. And your confidence will just skyrocket every time you say, I'm going to do it.
Wow, this was amazing. Thank you, and see you in the next episode.